welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I know this might look a little weird. This is just a plank of wood, right? This is like a wooden canvas thing. I think it's from Hobby Lobby originally. It was gifted to me, so I'm not 100% sure the price, but I do think I've seen it at Hobby Lobby or a craft store, so they're still making it. And I've been figuring out what to use this for quite some time, because it's got like these planks, and I like the look of it, but not for a painting. With the new job, they work with clothes. They no longer do alterations in-house. So when I was asked to throw away a bunch of buttons, I asked if I could just bring them home, and they said yes. So we have buttons. We have more buttons. We have more buttons. We have even more buttons. We have more buttons. 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 And buttons. Now, all of them came with the containers that they're in, except for this one. This is an embroidery floss container, but I consolidated my flosses. So some of them I have gone through. This I have not gone through. That's why it looks the way it does. So I've sorted some of it. I've not sorted all of it. I do know what I want to do for this image, and that's kind of in the way I was sorting it. I'm just setting them all off to the side for now. What it comes down to is I'm doing a button mural to take advantage of the wooden look. So I was thinking, what if at least part of the background was these clear buttons, so that it still looks uniform and everything's still buttony, but we can take advantage of that beautiful wood and you can still see through it. I don't know how well you could see that with my lighting, but that's the thought process here. I went through the big box. I sorted as many colors as I could that I needed. Very, very dusty. I got a bunch of white over here, all of these gray. I got browns over here, a few black ones in here. So I'm just gonna start off. I should start off with a sketch, shouldn't I? Oh no, I didn't want to sketch. Alright, so I think I'm gonna pause this and sketch it off camera. So I've got a very simple, very general sketch done. I'm going to be using tacky glue for this. I was looking at forums and even Reddit, and a lot of places said either tacky glue, E6000, or hot glue. I wanted this to dry clear and not be super lumpy with the hot glue as well. So I'm going to be using tacky glue because, like I said before, these clear beads, I want you to be able to see the wood through it. So I'm going to be building this up a few layers. So some of where I want like subtlety or a button, like the smallest buttons I have would be too big, I'm going to be doing that in the first layer so I can build up over it on the second. Alright, I think that that's a good first layer for the white. I wasn't initially going to do all the white, but I decided to anyway. Alright, so I pulled out all of the dark grays that I think I'll be able to use with this. I've got a bunch of like these, but I think they're like the wrong shade. I might use some of them. But the very top of the head is almost black, or is black. I think I do have a few black buttons in here. This one's still sewn on, but I kind of like that. If I'm able to use this, I think I'm going to keep it like that. And while I'm at the store for the beak, which I'm going to try and work around right now, I'm going to kind of give myself some room here because this is just the first layer. And then once I've gotten the light pink for the beak, I'm also going to get some smaller black because There's a lot of black buttons in this lot, but not a lot of tiny ones. Alright, so we've got the majority of the base done, except for the beak. Trust me, there's going to be more definition in this. I'm going to start with the, not quite the background, but kind of the background. I want to put in some of these green in the first layer of the background, to kind of give the impression of, like, you know, greenery and trees. So I'm going to do a few clusters of these. I've got this lighter green, and then this shade as well. So I don't know if I'm going to have them all flipped one way or all flipped the other. I don't know if I'm actually going to, you know, focus too much on that, but I know I need to do the beak, so I'm being cautious about that. And I definitely need more clear as well. We're completely out of clear. And I'm honestly a little scared of picking every single one of these background buttons up and moving them around. I should have done, and what I'm going to do on the second layer is smear some glue down in sections and just work in sections. So what I'm going to try and do now is fill in between buttons like that and just let it seep. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I'm definitely going to need more glue. I'm not out yet, but I will be. Yeah, let's do the second layer of brown. Should I have used tweezers? Maybe. Did I? No. I am back. It is months later. I was not engaged before when I started this video. I ran out of the clear I said it again. I ran out of the clear buttons and got some more different colors and stuff that I knew I would need, and then sorted them into their own container for what should be all of the buttons that I need for this project. And with the Dollar General challenge, I got more glue. So let's just jump back into this. First thing I want to do is put this beak on, and I will be overlapping some background colors over the beak, so I'm not super concerned about that, to be honest. Is that the whole thing? I do want a little bit more up at the tip, but I also don't... yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. I found a little flower. I kind of want to incorporate that somehow now. Alright, so I knocked out most of the background. I just wanted to do this last little corner with y'all that I've been doing. Squeezing out like lines and squiggles of the glue. And then just kind of patchworking the buttons in. And you see how I didn't really get a whole lot of glue there? I've just been dragging it through so that it has glue on the back. It's a bit lazy, but it's okay. I've been having to be careful not to overlap them. I mean, I'm doing a second layer, but because the bottom layer is not fully even, sometimes they'll just angle up and slide right over each other. So I've been being very careful of that. This is kind of where we're at with it. Go up to the top a little bit more so you can see where we just worked on. I'm pretty happy with it. The bottom is dry, so you can kind of see the bottom second layer is, whoop. Well, except for that one. That one didn't glue on at all. Let's just squeeze a little out there and pop her on. So the bottom section is pretty well dry. I am really happy that we put that little flower in there. I think that's really cute. And then I was trying to figure out how to sign this without it looking horrible. I did find some S buttons. I don't know if they were branded or what, because most of my buttons, aside from the pink ones, the itty bitty black ones, the itty bitty white ones, and as I told you all, pretty much all of the clear ones from this level were donated, essentially, from work. So I saw some S ones. I don't know if they were from a brand or what. I could not find any M ones, and I didn't want to buy another whole pack of buttons just for one button like I kind of did with the pink. So I found this little mother of pearl heart button. I think it would look really cutesy here. And then I just have a knockoff Sharpie. I don't remember what this is from. Maybe the dollar store. And I was just going to put an M on one side and an S on the other of the buttonholes. Now, maybe eventually I might use resin or something over top of everything just to seal it in. As of right now, I'm not going to. If I start seeing any color fading, which I don't think I will, maybe I will do that. But as of right now, I'm really not concerned about it. It would also make it last a whole lot longer. But some of these buttons, especially on the bird, go above the ledge of the frame. So I don't really think it would make a huge difference on that. But it's something I've thought about, and I'm still bouncing the idea around. This is what we have left of the clear and green mixture. I know it seems like a lot, considering I bought 3 packs of clear buttons. But if you think about it, I used up all the really big ones from the multi-size pack. I used so many of the little ones. That was my saving grace. And really most of what I have left are these ones, which if I remember correctly, they were from their own pack. But I did use plenty of them as well. So I don't regret buying all of those buttons. And I'm sure I'll find a use for these eventually. I have decided, because of the abundance of buttons that I have left over after this project, and I have in between the beginning and right now for this project, I have made some other little button projects. I did a couple paw prints. I did an M and a W for Megan and Will. Will is my fiance. Oh, I got ink on me. But there's only so many button projects I can do. If you guys have an idea for one that you want to see in particular, we've already done the bird. I've done some kind of boring ones off camera just to kill some time when I felt like it. But if there's anything in particular you want to see before I try and sell them or donate them to like an elderly facility or something, let me know in the comments before I get around to doing that, because at that point it would be too late. But if you liked this video, if you like my art, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to stay artsy. Bye, guys!